So my name is Kim Gregory. I am a dairy records service manager. My territory is the entire state of Vermont and the Washington, Saratoga, and Rensselaer County area down at the bottom of Vermont. And I have 10 technicians on my team. So we have had concerns from farms over how we're making ourselves safe and their employees safe, because we do work in large teams at some places where if their workforce gets COVID-19 and we could trace it back to us, that really would not be good. I mean, I don't want anybody to get COVID-19. You know, we have one farm where we jumped in the middle of milking. So then we were done and tearing down and in and out of their milk house before their workers even had to go anywhere into the milk house. Because sometimes you run into that. You get done at the end of milking and you're cleaning up your equipment and the farm help is in the milk house too, just checking the milk tank, setting up the wash cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we tried to work around that to not be in the same place at the same time as their work staff. And it actually seems to be working out, doing that in a few different places.
Oh, awesome. I hadn't heard anyone doing stuff like that. That's a great idea.
Yep. Our large farms where we have teams, they're in situations like where we're in a basement and they're like, yeah, come. And we just make sure that we don't interact with the crew upstairs. We just stay away from them.
Right.
We do our thing and get in and out with minimal amount of contact.
Right. Right. Yeah. Which is the best you can do. I'm sure at basement parlors too. That's probably even not social distancing between each other, but social distancing from the farm staff.
It's harder to social distance with other technicians than it is with farmers.
Right.
Yep. And, you know, and we've even switched over, I've switched over to even clipboards that can be sanitized. You know, they make hard plastic clipboards. You know, I wipe down all of my stuff now as soon as I get to a farm and when I leave with Clorox wipes, like my table, the outside of our boxes, you know, just to be safe. It's better safe than sorry, I believe.
Absolutely. You know, and you don't realize how many things you touch when there's so many little things like your clipboard and pens and things like that that you're touching the whole time you're there. That's
and
great.
Sometimes farmers are touching them too. So it's like, you know, let's just be a little safe. You know, and on the flip side of that too, I've also asked team members, are there any situations where they feel they can't social distance when they're on a farm? You know, to let me know and we can maybe work out a different plan or figure out something for the farm. I know Lee has had a couple of farms that he has dropped meters off, they've sampled, and then he's just gone in after they're out of there, cleaned up and done paperwork.
Okay.
You know, so it's kind of cool that National DHI for the time being is recognizing that as an official standard test.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes things a lot easier. Some people can still get their information too. And you know, I'm sure that's helping to prevent people that would normally think about coming off test, not take that action.
Yeah, I had a farm last week who lives like 3 miles down the road from me and he texted and I said, yeah, come pick up meters and boxes and then just leave them back at my house. And, you know, he got his test day done and it was kind of cool. All I had to do was sit in front of my computer.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're continuing to reach out to our farms that have put us off because of concerns over, you know, infecting their workers or just us being safe on their farms, you know, contacting them, you know, let them know that we are available still. You know, we have been provided with gloves and masks and, you know, we are willing to work with them. Is there anything they need that we can do for them? Even if it is just to pick up samples, drop stuff off so they can take their own samples, you know, because the way the dairy industry is right now, people need to stay on top of things.
Absolutely. People want to make sure they're having quality milk and getting any premium that they can get. That's for sure. Not a good time to let that slack.
Yep. So, you know, we kind of worked together and came up with a standard text that, you know, we send out to touch base with those farms. Just checking in to see how things are going and if you need anything. Dairy One has provided us with cloth masks and gloves for while we are on farms. If you'd still like to wait, we totally understand. Again, I hope all is going well and everyone is staying safe.
Oh, that's perfect. That's excellent. That's great. And you guys are all using that?
Yeah, pretty much.
On your team? Awesome. That's a really good idea. Because I think that's the thing too, is once farms start to realize the things that we're doing, obviously, like you had said, some are still going to be uncomfortable, those situations. When you have really large teams, it just becomes a pretty high risk. But I think just knowing that we're willing to reach out there and prove that we understand how important it is to be safe and also for them to get their information. So I think that's a great approach.
It is. all about communication. Brittany actually had a farm last week that they didn't want her to come test because they had a family member who had had it. He's been recovered, but they didn't want anybody on the farm, but they still wanted to do milk pregnancy.
Oh, good.
So she did. She went over, dropped off the vials, and then went back and picked them up. Um, so we are doing stuff like that still for people that don't want a full test but still need some services. We're offering, do you want us to just come when you're not in the barn, catch your records up for the people that don't have software?
Hmm.